Welcome to High Oracles Reiki Spiritual Healing Channel. And what we have been talking about are those higher spirits that have been hijacking our mind. We've been hijacked by the past spells, past higher spirits in order to attack us. And we are dealing with a programming as a result of that. Okay? The programming is to give back our wealth to those people who are in alignment with the entity, who are in alignment with the colonizers. And I wanted to, give you an idea of what I mean through examples. That even though we know that these high price items, hair, nails, Jordans, things that these people have mentioned, we continue to spend our money and they continue to attack our financial wealth. So this is what we want to make sure that we're calling back our power from these people, not just with boycotts, but this has to be a permanent state of mind, that we remove our financial wealth, our power, and we invest that into our own communities, into our own lives, okay? So now that we are using our way of life of understanding, that whatever we have gained, it is supposed to be put back into our families. It's supposed to be put back into our communities. It's supposed to be put back into our lives. Okay? So we now understand that what we have been doing is unraveling this dark hole, this dark spiral down, as we're coming to the forefront, we're coming to the top, as we undo these spells of Willie Lynch syndrome. Okay, these are all spells that we have to undo, that have been programmed. We have to undo the spells, and this is what I have been working on. Undoing those spells of Willie Lynch, of the past over our fathers. Undoing those spells of the music that we listen to, what goes into our minds and our hearts, how we think about our own people. It is a spell that has gone over our minds, okay? It's gone over our hearts, that we treat each other with utter disrespect, but we have the most respect for people who do not mean us well, okay? That is going to stop. That is going to stop. That is going to be one of the most important things that we break out of, and we teach our children, the respect of the household and the people who are doing for them. Okay? I heard a brother say on the internet over the weekend, oh, you need to teach, your male children, women, black women, you need to teach your male children not to marry outside of their race. But it could have been said better than that, because that means that, you take the responsibility off of you as the men and you give the responsibility back to the women. And we've had simply enough of that, okay? We do not want your responsibility, and it is all of our responsibility to teach the next generation. So if you're going to call out one group, then we have to make sure that you understand that the authority that God has given is up on you, in order to know how to teach, in order to know how to maintain your temper, in order to know how to maintain your respect, even when you're in disagreement with someone, just as I am doing with you. So these are some of the things that we have to work on moving forward. These are some of the things that we have to make sure that we are handling as a community, as a collective. Okay, because it's not just about materials, it's about your financial energy as a whole, teaching the children, the next generation, how to handle the financial energy as a whole, not wanting to spend something on beat and cars, that you're spending your money and you're not getting anything out of it. You're spending your money to look good. All of that has to stop. You're spending your money to, be like another culture. Okay, and that has not gotten us anywhere. So this is what we're doing over the next couple of months. We're calling back our financial power from a lot of these businesses that we have not invested, in ourselves. They have not invested in us. And so we have to call that power back so that we can continue to thrive and invest in our future, our next generation, in training and teaching. And this is just the starting point of that, okay? We're starting to invest in ourselves. And I want all of you, to make sure that you are treating each other with the respect that you would want in your businesses. If you want people to patron your business, then you cannot come with the attitude that you would have, on the street. Okay, you cannot treat people with other disrespect and disregard. So this is some of the issues that we have to be vigilant against, and those people who think that they can bring their attitude from their home life or the street into their business, they will be dealt with swiftly. Okay. So, the Matrix has programmed us, and this is what I have been working diligently for you to understand, that these programs, these spells that have gone over into our life, male and female, you cannot just, single out the female. There are a lot of things that a lot of you want to keep. You want to keep the behaviors and conducts that have been given to you by the colonizers. And so we have to make sure that we're continuing to ask ourselves, will your enemy give you something good? Would your enemy give your parents something good? So if the answer to that is no, and they most certainly would not, then we have to make sure that we're changing our behaviors from those colonizers, from those enslavers, to what God would have us do. Okay? What God would have us do, not what Jesus would have us do, because Jesus was a created human being. Okay? All right? So what God would have us do is to make sure that we are breaking those patterns and spells according to what the holy books have given us, what the Holy Bible has given us, what the Holy Quran has given us. Okay? We make no distinctions of one prophet than another. God gave each prophet something different in order to heal, humanity, in order to heal the world. And we have to take that and use it. And the first thing that we have to do is check our attitude, the way that we communicate, with each other. The passes that we give other people, other nationalities of people that are outright, blatantly disrespectful. Okay? The retribution that is coming will be swift. That's an airplane flying over us. We have to make sure that we're congregating and building up our own people. We're training our young people to be productive. We're training our young people to understand the wealth, what our parents could not do. Okay? So this is, the foundational work that we have to go through. Okay? It is not something that is easy. It is not something that, we're going to sit up and blame someone and blame the past generation, because if they were unable to do it, then there is a reason that they were unable to do it. And as we are seeing all the, the blockages, the lynchings, the unalivings, everything that they have endured, we are enduring in our time right now, in a modern day, lynching, in a modern day type of, blockage, cross conditions from different nationalities, sent to us in order to keep us spending, in order to keep us unable to see the ones who are involved in this type of attack. And we have been able to remove that negative energy, and as a collective, we have been able to see the injustice and to understand that it has been a spell that has been sent over our lives, over our minds, over our hearts, over our children. It is a generational curse that we have to address in our generation, because our parents, gave in to this type of attack in order for power, in order for proximity, and we do not blame anyone. We forgive them, and for those of them who are involved in that type of belief, that type of conduct, we forgive them and we release them, to go and be with the entity that they have chose for power, for fame, to bring them wealth, So, some of them have sold themselves out for a little bit of nothing in order to be, hood rich, to be famous, where they are, to have, a job. Okay, and so their agreement, that contract, has been accepted by the entity, and anyone that has gone in that direction, we are being separated from those types of our ancestors. We are being separated from those type of people who are in alignment, with the entity and how they would do things in the past in order to control our innovations, our wealth, our healing. Okay, we don't want to go through medication, and they're psychiatrists. We don't want to do things the way that they were doing things, the way that they were giving to our parents. Okay, so we have to make sure that we're changing everything about the way that we live and thrive, and pass down the education and information to the next generation. We take what is good. We can take what is good. It's okay. It's okay that we take, the religious beliefs. But we must make sure that we have the understanding that they are being interpreted in a way that is conducive for our people. And this is what I have for you today, that, we are breaking a lot of those spells that have been sent over us. We're removing the programming from the internet, the television. If you're not doing something with it that's productive, then you are in alignment with something that is going to bring you into a low vibrational state. Okay? We are cleansing that type of negative energy that has been sent over our hearts and minds, that have us spending our money, our wealth with other people who have not, sown back into us, who have not given to us. Okay, and we are able to see these people for who they are. And I hope that you have received this message. Please like, share, and subscribe to me. We are in a beautiful park again. It is just lovely. The wind is blowing, and I wanted to get out of here with you guys and enjoy this breeze that I'm feeling right now. I really appreciate all of your support. Please like, share, and subscribe to me over all of my platforms. You can book your one-on-one life coaching sessions so that I can acclimate a gift to your situations, or you can book your consultations at www.highoracle.com. Make sure that you're giving in donations or offerings so that we can keep our channel going. I really appreciate you. The wind is blowing really hard. I thank all of you for your support. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'm High Oracle, Reiki spiritual healer. Assalamu alaikum.